But I got Ray and I got Stephen Daniels. Huh? Stephen, you want to go first?
Thank you, Comrade Chair. My name is Stephen. I stand here very saddened, and I won't be too long, because I had the privilege of sitting under 4, I think, councils of SACAP, to the point they've even moved 4 times in their premises. From the year 2000, I want to ask a question, and before that I want to make a statement. There are many sensitivities that are attached to what we are addressing. I will make another silver bullet statement that there are many jobs that government can give to other sectors in the profession than give it to architects.
That's the point I was making.
And I want to say it again. There are many jobs that government can give to other, might I say, non-architects. But they prefer to give it to architects. I also want to say I've been very privileged to sit under 4 chairs. And I want to state after a long time, standing next to my colleague Stan Siegel, we both sat under a 22-man commission, putting together IDOW, categories of registration, etc., etc., etc. The question I ask is RPL alive? Is it authorized? Then the next question is, where is CBE in this whole thing? I don't know if CBE is here. CBE should be here. And the last question I ask is that SACAP and CBE expect aspiring professionals for upward mobility in the ladder, but still subscribing to the 1970 Act of 500 square meters. Where did all the experience come from? Those professionals did not have that chance. I was one of the very fortunate few. And the regrettable and the sad part I conclude with is that SACAP is supposed to be, if I could say, the leading point in the hierarchy from where we come from. I do not know what SACAP has done since 2008, 2009, since I have voluntarily excluded myself. But the question I leave with is that, thank you for this opportunity. What would be the one single objective we would want to get out of this? What we would want to get out of this? And notwithstanding the fact that it does hurt, like the young lady said, where no one would go, and this might seem very paradoxical, no one would have heart surgery by a doctor with a nurse's diploma. So I think we have time. SACAP, it lies strongly at the door of SACAP, who, I choose my words, have been in the last few years very elusive. I might even go to say deceptive. They don't represent those that they take the fees from. And they need to, might I say, catch and wake up. Thank you, Comrade.
Stephen, I don't totally agree with all your statements. I have very strong statements. Some of them I do agree with. I don't agree with all. Okay, it's time. Nita? Yeah. Nita? Ray?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nita Schmidler. I'm the Manager of Registrations and CPD at SACAP, and as such, the RPL falls under my department. As you can see, we did the first few and we implemented it on the 8th of May, so it is administratively quite a new creature, if I can call it that, for us. What I'm going to try and do very quickly is just put you through the processes that will be involved in an RPL assessment. First of all, you will have to apply on our online platform, our normal Your Membership online platform. Apply by logging into your membership online platform. confirmation of payment and evaluation of application is then done by us administratively. And please, we ask that the reference of that you get in the invoice at the end of your application, that you use that process to expedite it going forward. Once we have then determined after that you are eligible for the process, you will be given access to phase 1, which is the self-assessment phase. This is a specific RPL portal that you will receive, successful applicants will receive a link to. You then again register on that RPL portal and you complete the self-assessment. The self-assessment consists of 10 steps for 5 different projects that you've undertaken. There is no time limit. I'm not saying to you, you have to sit down there and spend 10 hours doing it now. It can take you months, it can take you years to do. There's not a time limit for that. At the end of the online self-assessment, you'll get an automated response from the system that says that either you are successful and you can proceed to the authentication phase, or that it is not successful. If it is not successful, you can attempt without further cost a further self-assessment. It looks, and I'll take literally a few seconds, it looks very simple if you look at the portal, because it literally asks you the name of the project, how many hours you spend in different categories in that process. I can assure you that at the back end there are lots of calculations being done by the system to determine whether or not somebody is eligible to move on to phase 2. If you then go on to phase 2, that is what we call the authentication by an RPL panel. That you will then receive a further invoice for the payment for phase 2. We will distribute the information on the format of the portfolio and the other documents that we need for the authentication. We will prepare administratively for the authentication. We'll set a date for the assessment. We will convene the panel and everything. We will confirm this information to you for your RPL assessment, and then you will attend this authentication assessment. The authentication consists of a panel interview and assessment. You may be required to undertake certain functions like a design test or a mini dissertation during the self-assessment. If the self-assessment is successful, you will be able to upgrade to the next registration category. Please just note that I've put there a note NB. If you have not written and passed both papers of the professional practice exam before, you will not be able to do the upgrade before you've done so. So people that have written the PPE many years ago, there will be no need. We've got the process whereby candidate draftspersons are only required to write one paper. If you haven't written the second one, you'll be required to write the second one. But it's only at the upgrade phase where if you haven't written the exam, you'll be required to do that. If you are not successful, the panel will actually make recommendations on the fields in which you need to better it, and they will make assessment. They will make recommendations on how to better that before you're being allowed to then do a further assessment.
Can I just answer one or two things from the points that Mr. Daniels has made? The IDOW is with the Competition Commission at the moment. They want us to come up with an alternative IDOW because they see the one as being discriminative, the current one. Based on as well as the professional fees, they also said we must come up with a different model of a fee scale model. Okay, we're working on that. But based on our RPL system, and it is the first online system in the country, which means if you sit in the outskirts of Mpumalanga where there's no computer, or your boss don't want you to do your work at office, you can go to the nearest library and you can start applying if there's internet. And for us, it took quite some time. Your membership money is in there. That's where the money is pulled into, of getting consultants and working hours and hours of getting it right. And that is what we strive for. Thanks.
Thanks, Nita. Thanks, Rowan. Yes, we've run